Hello and welcome. I'm Anthony Vessecchia, Bodycrafters Inc. Level 3 TPI here on behalf of Scratch Golf Academy. This is going to be part 3 of my early extension series. And what we're going to go over is dissociation and coordination. Just teaching you the coordination of getting through while keeping your rear end back. And I'm going to give you a couple little drills on that. And then dissociation, how well you can separate your upper body and your lower body. Okay, so the first drill for dissociation is going to be Stor turns. You can find a door frame, you can grab a door frame here, lock yourself in, or I'm using the pole here on this cable machine. Most importantly, you're locking your elbows in place and you're not allowing your shoulders to move at all, because we're teaching yourself to be able to move your lower body while stabilizing your upper body. So you lock your elbows in place, you lock your hands on, you don't let them move, you bring your foot behind your knee, you lock the knee out that is on the ground, the post leg, and you rotate through. Now what will happen is, if I'm rotating my knee that way, tendency will be to bend my elbow and help turn. You have to lock that out. Elbows must remain locked. Every time I see this drill with other people, I'm having to correct them and ask them to watch their elbows and make sure they stay locked. You'll do 10 to 15 on one side, you'll switch and do it on the other. I would do a few sets of these. This is a really good drill to help separate and allow yourself to use your lower body without using your upper body. So that's the first drill, Stor turns. Second drill for dissociation is going to be locked elbows. Same thing we did with Stor turn. Don't let them bend at all, but we're gonna set up in golf posture now, and we're gonna get used to going through that golf swing motion. So we're going to go take our backswing and then get through impact. Again, backswing, through impact. And you're gonna do 10 to 15 reps of that. Again, if I'm locked out here, I'm gonna go backswing, through to impact. And I'm gonna get myself used to that over and over again, just so I can move my lower half without moving my upper half. Obviously, it's gonna help with the X factor stretch, because you're gonna get used to being able to not move this while your hips are moving. Okay, third drill for dissociation is going to be a kettlebell dissociation swing. So what we're gonna do, this is a 10-pounder, you can use a 5-pounder. You could get a bag with like maybe a can in it or something, but make sure it's something that you can grip and grab easily. You don't drop it on your foot, so be careful with this one. That's why I say grab something light, get used to the motion first. I mean, 5-pound kettle, something very light. You could use a dumbbell. It's just a little harder to catch than the kettlebell, so I like using a kettlebell. You're gonna set up in golf posture, and what you're gonna do is start with your hand out. There's no swinging of your hand this way. You don't wanna get hit ahead of your hips. Your hips are leading the way the entire time. So if I'm out here, my hip will turn almost all the way before I even start that downswing with my hand. And I'll show you this a couple times and I'll explain what I'm doing. So I'm gonna start, and if you notice, before I even switch hands, my hip is almost turned all the way the other way, so that it's dragging the weight down over and over again. And another thing that this drill does, beyond moving your pelvis ahead of your torso, is that it's going to make sure you keep your body back and your rear end back, because if you move forward, you're gonna hit yourself in your knee. And you don't wanna do that, obviously, with this kettlebell. So here's the motion from the side. You can notice I'm keeping my rear end back. I'm not getting into that early extension and then hitting myself. For your fourth dissociation drill, I'm going to work on allowing yourself to move the upper body independent of the lower. The other ones were based more moving the lower body while the upper body was locked in place. So this is gonna be the exact opposite. I got a small foam roller. This is just to help lock my hips and my legs in place. I'm gonna go into a stagger step. I'm gonna pin that foam roller against the wall and put it up against my thigh, just above my knee. And I'm going to now rotate with my upper body, just like this. And what that's doing is it's forcing my hips to be locked in place while I'm using my upper body. Again, switch to the other side. After you do about 15 to 20 of those, lock in, stagger step, and same thing. So now I'm really getting used to moving my upper body independent from my lower body. Okay, now we're gonna get into 2 quick drills to help you with coordination, just to understand the coordination of keeping your rear end back and getting through impact, so that you're not standing up and rounding your back this way. So these are just coordination drills, not necessarily swing drills. This one's called merry-go-round. So what I do is I take the club straight up like this, club face straight up, make sure it stays straight up, and you're gonna take it in whatever hand, whichever direction you swing. If you're right-handed, it's in your right hand. If it's left, you put it in your left hand, and the club face will be out that direction. Okay, so I'm gonna have it straight up in the air. I'm gonna get a ball, and I'm gonna line up to the ball, or set up to the ball. And from this right here, straight up, I'm going to rotate my body through until my club face is square to target and right at the ball. And what that's doing is it's really exaggerating and getting me down and covering that ball, whereas I used to be up this way and then rounding out like that. So what you do, you make sure that your back is nice and straight and flat, and you rotate down to it just like that. And you'll find that you have more pressure running, if I'm this way, straight through your feet this way instead of kind of looping around. Okay, so you want to get as much power going straight at the target as you can instead of kind of a loop and around or coming over the top, obviously, which that early extension can help with. So this exercise or drill is called merry-go-round. And from the front, if you're set up this way, you bring it down and you get to square club face. And you're doing that by rotating your hips. You don't want to pull it away and get there like that. You just rotate through. That is merry-go-round. And for my last coordination drill, I call this the corner drill. I really like this just for teaching coordination of where your rear end it should be in relation on your backswing and where your lead leg and your lead rear end should be in correlation to impact position. So what you do is you find a corner. If you need to just go to a clear wall and put a chair behind your rear end, you can do that too. You're going to put your hands behind your rear end like this, in this position, pointed away. You're gonna back up till your palms touch the wall, and then you're gonna slide over until your foot, if you're against a wall, hits the baseboard. Okay, if you've hit the baseboard, that's perfect. It's got it, or if there's no baseboard, make sure it's touching the wall, okay? Rear end an inch away behind you and touching the wall with your lead foot on your lead side, sorry. Then we're going to go to the top of your backswing. Your right rear end, if you're a right-handed golfer, or your trail rear end, should hit the wall behind you. And then as you get to impact, your lead thigh, not necessarily your hip, your thigh should bump the wall on your lead side at the exact same time that your rear end on your lead side is bumping the wall behind you. So again, top of the backswing, right cheek, and left thigh touch the walls at the exact same time. That's gonna, again, teach you to go straight linear towards the target to generate as much as your power out at the target instead of looping it around and bringing it back. So again, that's the corner drill, right cheek, left lead thigh, and left rear end hitting the wall at the same time if you're a right-handed golfer. Lefty, obviously, on the opposite side. Again, subscribe, click for notifications. I have many more drills coming your way. This was part 3 of a 3-part series for stopping early extension. Make sure you check out the other 2 videos so you understand why I'm showing you these today. And stay tuned for hip mobility, thoracic spine mobility, shoulder mobility, weight training. We're gonna go all the way through them all. So once again, subscribe, hit notifications, and we'll see you next time.